What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. Believe it or not, I actually haven't had much time to make videos last few days, so I'm a little behind, but that's okay. I fully suspect that everybody is doing very well, I hope. Damn phone, of course, it's gonna zoom in and zoom out, sorry about that. But I'm doing my fasted cardio, kinda. It's like really late in the day to be doing fasted cardio. But that being said, I'm getting it done. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Is it 1 o'clock? I actually don't know what time it is. What time? Yeah, 1:30. 1:30 in the afternoon. Let's see if we can get this in closer so that it won't zoom in and zoom out so much. It's kind of a pain in the ass. But I've seen a lot of people asking a lot of different questions, whether it's in the family or just out there in general about fitness or Atkins or low carb and stuff. So kind of just wanted to go through some basics. So some really basic things that we tend to forget when doing something like Atkins or changing our way of eating or just trying to be like just generally a little bit more healthy are the basics, actually. Believe it or not, the basics getting forgotten about. So some of the things that you're going to need to remember when you are doing a lifestyle change, whether that's high carb or you get into bodybuilding and you do carb cycling, or you're doing low carb when you're cutting, or maybe you're just looking to be a little bit healthier or trim down and lose 20 pounds or something like that. What you have to understand is you got to keep it really basic, okay? There's a couple basic fundamentals to building size or reducing size, and those two fundamentals are going to be, most importantly, calories up or calories down, okay? Now, you have to remember, it's not necessarily that you have to start obsessing over calories, but I really want you to understand that if you hit a plateau and your body's not changing, one of two things are going to have to happen. Whether you're trying to gain weight, because yes, there's people out there that try to gain weight, your calories are going to have to go up, okay? And if you're trying to lose weight, sometimes your calories will have to go down. But therein lies an issue. Sometimes your calories are just too low. So, technically speaking, I'll try some different things with clients to get them to drop weight. I will drop calories until their body starts changing. Is it the best, most effective way? Probably. Is it the easiest to follow? Probably not. It's one of the hardest things to stick to, because you're basically starving yourself until your body finds out where it needs to start losing weight again. Because you probably messed up your metabolic system over time. Okay? So, that being said, if you haven't messed up your system, but you are continuing to lose weight, you do have to take into consideration, because you're losing weight, the important thing is that you understand you probably won't need as many calories, depending on your activity level. That could go either way. But if you are shrinking in size, realistically, you're probably going to need a little bit less calories. Now, if your activity level increased and your muscle mass increased and your body composition completely changed, then that might not be the case, okay? You might need more calories to be able to fuel your body, and you could be under-eating and gaining, or under-eating and not losing. Does that make sense? So, it's kind of like getting a paycheck, okay? By the way, if you're new here, check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for Healthy Life. We are a family full of spectacular people, okay? We don't accept people trying to sell stuff or treat people trying to be bullies. We're really positive, motivational group for each other. I'm sorry about the blurring in and out. My phone does that when it's facing me. I apologize. So for instance, like, let me see if I can put this in an analogy. If you get paid $300 a week from a job, okay? Every week you get paid $300. And then one week, and that's consistent, okay? That's consistent for a year. One week they pay you $200. And they say, I'm not going to give you as much. Or you say to them, well, if you're only going to pay me $200, I'm not going to give you as much. It's kind of like the same type of thing with your body. If you're not giving your body that $300 or all those calories that you're supposed to be getting, your body's not going to respond to you as properly as it should be. For instance, burning weight, because you're underfeeding it. It's going to be under appreciated, basically. So, of course, basic concepts such as calories in versus calories out are extremely important. But there really are other things that go into it, and it's kind of like a little bit of a, I don't want to say a yo-yo diet, but it is a learning process in which you have to find the equilibrium in which your body will respond properly. Because if you don't, unfortunately, you're just going to keep up the cycle. And I see people every day, I'm not bagging on anybody, but I see people every day that have been at the same weight or gone up continuously for a year. And they're not trying enough things, okay? And if that's you, you probably need to get it together. You need to try to drop your calories. See what happens. Do you get movement? You need to try to increase your exercise. Maybe increase your exercise intensity. Maybe you've been following the same program for too long and your body stopped responding. Our bodies are extremely proficient at one specific thing: preserving our lives. And they do that through fat storage and all the things that we don't want. But in reality, you have to remember these things are being done to preserve our existence, okay? So you really do have to fight to change that physiological makeup in order to actually see a external change. You're going to see internal changes too, but technically speaking, you wouldn't be able to see them. You have to remember, you have to constantly put change under something in order to make it change, okay? That is the basic rule of weight loss. That's the basic rule of bodybuilding. That is the basic rule of strength training, resistance training, endurance work, anything. If there's no resistance, there is no change. So you have to really keep that in mind. You can do certain things. I hear this concept a lot. A lot of people will say, well, you know, I used to see results a lot. And I say, okay, well, what'd you used to do? And they say, oh, well, about a year ago, I started this exercise program. And I was doing a lot of exercise. Maybe it was Zumba, maybe it was this, maybe it was that, okay? So I kept going, and I stopped. I said, okay, how long ago did you stop? Oh, 5 months ago. I said, how long ago did you stop seeing results? Oh, about 5 months ago. And I just kind of sit there and look at them. And they go, oh shit, that's what it was. I stopped doing it. Now, remember, in the same sense as that, not only did you stop doing it, but you stopped adding to it. You know, because regardless of what you're doing, you have to continue to either do more or change what you're doing. It doesn't always have to be like a higher volume, because some people will get this in their mind that I saw a guy at the gym the other day, little guy, probably 180 pounds, And I said, what's your goal? He said, 170. I said, okay. I said, what are you at now? He said, like 176. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm just doing more cardio, more cardio, more cardio, more cardio. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do when you hit that? I don't know. I said, well, you're going to continue to have to do the same amount of cardio. You could probably hit that little bit of a weight by just slightly reducing your calories. That way you're not having to do 5 hours of cardio. I actually met up with him the other day and he was doing 4 hours of cardio every single day. Weight wasn't budging. Your body goes into shock after a certain point. It's not going to do anything. There's actually, I don't remember the guy that did the study, but there's only a maximum number of calories that you can actually burn within a day, okay? Otherwise, we could do everything in a single day, right? Right. It's not possible, okay? You can drop weight in a day, okay? By doing things like not eating, flushing your system out, exercising, sweating, going to the bathroom. But for the most part, you're not going to see all your results right away, okay? You guys have to remember this is a journey, okay? I told you a long time ago, there's a song that's pretty inspirational to me, and this reminds me of it. I'm back full circle on the treadmill once again. And funny enough, where I began was on the treadmill, okay? 342 pounds. I was on the treadmill over at Lifetime Fitness. I used to love that gym. I used to love it. Every single day I would go to that gym. Every day. Damn phone, I wish it would stop doing that. Every day I would go to this gym, right? And there was always this guy I wanted to look like. And I probably look a hell of a lot closer to what he looks like now. But I'm still far away. And I know a lot more now. There's no way to know everything. It's impossible. But this journey has been very, very long. If you are 50 pounds overweight, maybe even 25 or 100 or more, please stop thinking that there's some quick fix or way to just make it happen in an instant. It's not going to work like that. Not only is it not going to work like that, but if that's the way of you're thinking, you're going to gain it all back, you guys. It's hard. There is days where you will shove a freaking pizza right down your throat and you'll buckle and you'll fall apart, sometimes for months. I'm not bullshitting you, I'm being honest. It's the way it is. If you have 100 pounds on you extra that you're needing to lose, the unfortunate reality is that you have some kind of problem with food or depression or anxiety or something's going on in your life or did go on in your life or whatever, okay? And the thing that you have to remember is that you have to work on repairing that mind. This does not just happen by losing weight. Work on you, okay? There's a lot of things that changed in my life. Way more so. I had so many more things change than I did weight lost. For instance, I started out when I got divorced. Well, when she divorced me, which is probably one of the best things that ever happened to me to kind of wake me up and start focusing on my health. And many of the things that I learned before I started my journey were probably because of her, to be honest. Drinking your water, which I never did before. So many things. So I'm thankful. Thank you, Julie, for all the things that you ever did for me that you probably never even knew and still don't to this day. It helped me learn to appreciate so much in life. So much. Like the simple things, like being alive. It helped me appreciate the things that I wasn't really pushing for, but I was always talking about. Like travel. To think, if you looked back and talked to anybody in my life from 10, 12 years ago, and you told them I had been to 30 countries, I had been to Europe 15 times, they wouldn't believe you. 30 countries, but remember, I've doubled a lot of countries. I've been to England like 9 times. Okay? So you have to remember, I've been to France like 4 times. So there's a lot of added things in there. Mexico like 100 times, but that was before too. If you had asked anybody back in the day if they thought any of those things were going to happen for me, they'd say no. There's no way. He's dead. He's something, you know, he's dead or he's in prison or something. And the reality is, many of those things have been very, very, very close to true, especially before and directly after I was married and got a divorce and kind of fell apart and didn't really know the avenue that I was going to go or which way I was going to learn. So when I started my healthy journey, like I said before, many things were way different than I had ever anticipated. For instance, when I first started working out, I would go to McDonald's after my workout. I would stop at Quick Trip before my workout and I would get some breakfast sandwiches and 2 big green monsters. I go in there and I tear the gym to pieces. I feel great. I'm on the machine right now. I'm on this treadmill. The difference in the mindset that I had before was a lot, but the main core value was knowledge, or their lack thereof. For instance, what I mean by things changing, other than just losing weight, as far as the mentality aspect is concerned, getting on this treadmill, I have fruit, like in my diet right now. In what I'm eating, my meal plan has cantaloupe in. And I was obsessing about the cantaloupe before I got on this treadmill. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've only ate a very small amount of egg whites so far today, so I'm hungry. But I blew off my cardio and I blew it off and I blew it off. And I knew I can't eat until I do it, because if I eat it, I'm just burning the sugar that I eat, or the carbs, or whatever. So I'm not really burning the fat. You know what I mean? I didn't know that before. Fast forward a year after I used to do the McDonald's thing, I started learning a little bit more about nutrition. So I started learning very slowly, very, very slowly, that carbs gave you energy and sugar gave you energy. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I really didn't know that. I didn't know it was my preferred fuel source for my body. And at this time, I didn't even know, even in the fast forward part. My buddy comes up to the car and he goes, "Is that a cake?" I said, "Yeah. I needed energy for the workout." He goes, "Did you eat that whole thing?" I said, "Yeah, let's go lift." He said, "John, you're never going to lose weight. If you're eating a whole cake before your workout, that's all you're going to burn." I didn't think nothing of it. I told him to F off, and I left the gym and I did a little bit of research, and I started thinking about what he was talking about, and I was like, huh. So I started doing some research about low carbs and carbohydrates and all kinds of stuff. So I learned how my body was responding to the different things that I was doing, and it was kind of interesting because it started clicking on a little light. I was like, well, maybe I'm not eating right, you know, or maybe I'm doing something wrong as far as my journey is concerned. So I began to learn more and more each and every day, and it was nice. So for instance, fast forward to now, telling myself I need that cantaloupe before because I want energy, and not doing it and getting on the treadmill is the difference between sustaining good health over a long period of time. You guys, I'm not the perfect image of what you think a bodybuilder should be or a fitness person should be. Okay, I struggle. I really do. I don't struggle anymore, not so much knowing what to do, it's just doing what I gotta do. Sometimes it's hard. And you guys are probably facing the same hardness, the same difficulties. But I will say, when you practice that self-discipline like I did today, you're going to be proud of yourself, okay? You really are going to be proud of yourself. Hopefully, I don't know if those just disconnected. But it's important that you do practice those things. Practice the things each and every single day. If your mind tells you, I want that cookie, or I want that, even if you're low carb, it's an extra hamburger patty. It makes a difference to tell yourself no. It's not about the couple hundred calories. It's about learning how to say no to yourself. If you've ever noticed, it's really easy to tell somebody else not to do something. But when you're faced with the mental challenge yourself, it's so easy to buckle because nobody's there going to tell you no. If you have money, you can go through a drive-through. Nobody's going to stop you. In fact, they'll invite you. They would love your business. So the biggest struggle about getting healthy or changing your way of life is going to be being honest, stern, and respecting yourself enough to say, I love myself, I really want to live a little bit longer, or at least feel better while I'm here. You know, because there's no guarantee, you guys. Stop thinking just because you change your way of health that you're going to live forever. There's people that eat like shit that live 100 years, okay? But I will say, there's probably just as many people that die of a heart attack because they didn't eat healthy or they didn't exercise. And there's also the heart attack of dying and exercising. So you have to make sure that you are giving a good balance in your life. But, again, making sure that you practice on a regular basis your own self-discipline to be able to achieve what you want to achieve and hold on to it. Because losing weight is only like half the battle. Not gaining it back is the majority of the issue. That's the biggest, hardest part, okay? It's the most difficult thing. Because chances are 95% of people that lose weight will gain it back. And even a higher percentage will gain back more. So remember that. Those are actual statistics pulled out of my ass. But it is very high if you look it up. And you can see it all the time. And the hard thing about doing it is you feel good about losing weight. You feel good about living a healthier lifestyle. And then once you do, and if you gain it back, people are hard about it. It's even more damaging because you were there and then you lost it. So please do your homework. Don't make it just about reducing your carbohydrates. Don't make it just about your calories. Make it about you. Why did you get in this position? You know, because at the end of the day, we can only hold ourselves accountable by ourselves, okay? Because there's always going to be somebody saying, hey, do you want a pizza? And the only person that can say no is you. I'm not saying there's no all the time. You can do it, okay? But I wouldn't do it until you actually learn your triggers, the things that cause you to fall apart, or anything like that. A lot more has changed with my healthy lifestyle, such as I used to do a lot of drugs. Not nothing crazy. I never really got hooked on anything, but I smoked weed from when I was 8 until, when did I quit? About 6 to 8 years ago. Cold turkey. I was faced with a pretty significant issue as far as court was concerned, and I told myself if that was going to happen, I wanted to make sure that I showed my boys that I wasn't weak and I could actually do all these things on my own without anybody requiring them. I ended up not going to prison, which was good, and then turned my life around and kind of realized that I really was taking life for granted, not only healthfully, but my kids, my family, my freedom, my ability to see the world in so many different aspects. And it's kind of crazy, you know? So I used to drink a lot. That was my thing, I guess, over anything else. I would drink. I got to the point a few years back I could slam a bottle a fifth. I would assume it's called a fifth. The large bottle of alcohol. Slam that in about 2 hours. No problem. By myself, straight. Of course, with other people. I never really drank alone or anything. But still, it was a problem. For the last, I guess it's been gone for a while now, but it comes back occasionally. I was shitting blood for maybe 5 years straight. You know, I had really bad hemorrhoids, really bad acid reflux. It was just the worst thing you ever experienced. You couldn't lay down, you couldn't sit up. It was really falling apart. I don't think a lot of people realize how big I was, you know, and even now at the top of my cutting, I'm like, had a little bit of a slip up the other day, but right now I'm at like 240, probably after I'm done with this cardio, about 242. And I'm at the top of my bulk still, and I'll be honest, I'm struggling to get down. It's hard, you know, it's difficult, and I have things here and there that I'm learning every day. Every day I'm learning. I got down to 235 the other day, and then, you know, things happen with everybody, all of us. So, but still, even though I'm over 100 pounds less than what I was when I started, and it really makes a big difference, you guys. The headaches, the negative thoughts about yourself, and wanting to die because you just feel like there's no hope. Everybody around you is like, man, it got so bad. I was literally trying to get SMI, serious mental illness benefits, like Social Security, disability. They denied me twice. I didn't work for 2-3 years. My mind was just falling apart, and everybody around me was saying, you can't work, you can't function, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I really fucking believed it, you guys. I really did. So when I look at myself today, it's difficult, okay? I'm still difficult. I still have difficulties. But I'm working, I'm doing my best to help other people that have the same problem I have. And it's really hard, you know? It's hard to hold down the schedule. I'm proud of myself because I have a schedule book and I'm doing my best. And sometimes I mess it up a little bit, but I'm pushing myself to grow. I'm creating an income, you know, and that's pretty cool. You know, after that point of which I thought I couldn't work, or everybody was convincing me that I was worthless, including myself, I started getting a wild hair in my ass, and I said, you know what, I've had enough of this. I had enough of this. I got a job at Home Depot. I held it down for 5 years. Maybe for the last 2, I wasn't that great of an employee, but I still did my job. I went to school, 160 credits. I need like 66 to graduate. For some reason, I couldn't get my last couple math classes. They're saying I have a math disability, but I don't really want to. Recently, I tried to add a couple classes, and I failed at those, and not failed, but backed off them because I want to focus on the training and really want to do good with that and help other people, because at the core of my existence, you guys, the one thing that matters to me most is doing all I can for somebody else. I know that sounds whack and stupid to some people, but I obviously don't let myself get used, but I know I have use, you know, for other people, and I'm a philanthropist at heart. I really want to give back to somebody that can't really give back to me, you know. I did a lot of that stuff with some companies that I worked for, but there was a lot of politics in it. It was really strange. You know, I was helping a lot of people that were far better off than I was. And I'll tell you, that's hard sometimes, and I even did it still. But I thought, you know, these people are in $1 million houses. Why am I doing their yard work for free? I live in a trailer with my mom. And I'm not saying that to feel sorry for myself, because obviously I make these choices in life. But I will say, part of the reason I'm here is because I really give everything I can back. Maybe too much sometimes. But regardless, and it could be poor financial decisions or whatever, but I will say I got like a 650 credit score. And I only have one bad thing on my credit since I repaired it years ago. One little thing. So there's a lot of things that have changed in my life. I'm never late on my bills. Not late, but never more than 30 days late. I'm proud of myself for a lot of things. And again, it all circles back to the same exact scenario. Getting healthier mentally, physically, emotionally takes a lot of time. It's not just about weight loss. It's not just about getting out of a bad relationship, because if you were in a bad relationship, chances are you were mentally affected massively by it. And it's going to take time to grow past that. And that's okay. But you have to remember that you can't be scared to go again. You can't always be scared to eat a pizza. You do have to have that self-discipline, and a lot of people don't understand the same kind of journey. I see people that are in absolutely amazing shape, and you know, they'll eat a pizza or something like that, and they don't really understand the same pizza could completely derail somebody's life like mine. And I know that sounds silly, and I've grown stronger over time, but food can be a trigger. Food can be an addiction. Food can be a drug. Food can be a coping mechanism. Food can be a death sentence to a lot of people. And I'm not saying make an excuse, because you know, be stronger than your excuses. But I am saying understand that just because somebody else makes a decision around you to eat something or live a lifestyle, whether it's drinking or partying or something like that, does not necessarily mean that that's okay for you, because you have a completely different mental genetic makeup than they would. So it's really important that you always answer questions or live your life accordingly to what is best for you. Don't answer things too quickly. Don't jump on situations that just seem fun, because what might be fun for somebody else could be a disaster for you. And it's really important that you dig deep and learn to love the continued growth and understanding in yourself, because you are truly the only one that knows what's going on inside you. Because even when you make those bad decisions, you may be thinking, this is against what I believe, or this is against what I feel that I should do. I think I should not do this. And nobody else knows that you're feeling that, unless somebody's really close to you, and then hopefully they wouldn't be doing that to you. So I guess the moral of the story is, stop thinking that it's just going to be magic and everything's going to be okay, because it's not. I promise the time, the moment, the scenario in which you just sit there and expect life to be all grand and sit back and watch it happen is the time where it smacks you right in the freaking face and says, bullshit. You always have to act like the rent's due. The rent's due. Focus, drive, motivation, save, don't splurge, don't go crazy. All of those things. These things are really important, because if you always act like the rent's due, you're always prepared for what could happen. I know that's a strange scenario, but if you think about it, it makes sense. You guys, I'm proud of you. I see so many people. Brenda, still hanging on. Tasha, still hanging on. Isabel posted today, drink your effing water. Even though she's hiding her bread, she's still staying strong. Tracy Jordan, Jennifer Artinez, just moved to Idaho. Deb Amorso, hopefully I said that right, still holding on, still doing absolutely fantastic. We have haters out there, you guys. We do. And there's probably some that are going to watch this video. And that's okay. I wish you guys the best. I don't wish anything poorly upon anybody that I've ever come across, to be honest. Even if they've done me wrong. I'm like forever forgiving. People will think that I don't forgive them. And it's not that I don't forgive them, it's just that I decide that I know that I'm not going to benefit from having that person in my life anymore. So at times I'll push that out and just stop. If you have people in your life, whether it's family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, that are not benefiting you or helping you grow, then unfortunately they're helping you die. Life really is the most short, most beautiful, most amazing, most spectacularly ending experience that you're ever going to have. So you really got to make the best of it. Of course, mine could be better. Of course. I'm not delirious as far as of course I'm delusionally optimistic. But I'm not delirious in the aspect of knowing that having my own place or being in a loving relationship or having different scenarios for myself wouldn't be more beneficial, because they would, and I understand that. I'm not stupid. But I am still making the best and the most of my situations, and I really expect you guys to do the same, because if you don't, life is gonna pass you by. I hear people every day say, I want to travel, but I can't. Then why can I? Explain that to me. Would you like to look at my checkbook? When I went to Colombia a few months, by the way, Andrea, Marcela, I love you guys, I miss you guys. I'm sorry I quit my Spanish class. I had to focus my energy on the training because it's make or break it. Really big rent cost at the new place, and I really want to make a living for myself out of this. I went to Colombia a few months ago, towards the end of last year, very end of last year. I hit 6 countries last year, and when I was in Hawaii a couple years ago with Boo, I said, if I do 6 countries a year, 6.5 countries a year for the next 30 years, roughly, that'll be all the countries. So I did it. I think it was the next year I did 6 countries. Or no, it was that year, following year, I said, I'm going to do 6 countries. And I got the 6 countries done, and towards the end of the year, I think I did Costa Rica, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, Indonesia, maybe another one. Vietnam, not Cambodia, I skipped Cambodia. Anyway, did 6 countries. Towards the end of the year, I said, I gotta do 2 more. I'm gonna do 2 more. I got my 6, I'm gonna do 2 more. So I went to Colombia. I booked a ticket to Colombia. I found a ticket for 3 something randomly one night. I said, shit, I don't have that, but I'll borrow it from this account, and I'll move it to this account, blah, 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 blah. I'll go borrow $50 from the neighbor, and I got it. Okay? So I decided that I was going to go to Colombia. When I left for Colombia, I had $40 in my pocket. 40. I booked the ticket for a month. It's crazy. I didn't even think it was crazy though. It's crazy now that I think about it. So I got to Colombia. I booked a couple nights at this little hotel or whatever, right? Hostel. It's like $7 a night. I went to Starbucks, got a coffee. I don't know what else I got. I'm pretty sure I probably got some kind of Danish or some dumb shit. Who knows? And I had a meal. After that, I was sitting there. And believe it or not, I left my business card, American business card in Colombia, on the table at Starbucks. Don't remember why. So I left. That night at the hostel, I got a message on WhatsApp. It's like a travel thing where people keep in contact with each other because you can text and stuff when you don't have text outside of the United States. So I got a message from this guy, and he said, "Hey, I want to train. I found your business card at Starbucks." My first thought is either he's gay or he's a serial killer. I'm not lying, that's just what I thought. I said, well, shit, I asked some people in the hostel, because I'm in Colombia, okay? It's pretty new to tourism. I didn't know what to expect, I didn't know. I said, all right. I asked some people in the thing. They said, hey, go for it, man. If you don't got no money, what the hell? What can it hurt? I messaged him back and I said, cool, when do you want to meet? He said, well, I'll meet you at the gym. Blah, blah, blah. It was the gym I worked out at, really close to the Starbucks. Tomorrow. I said, okay. I had no money left. I had $2 for myself to get into the gym and $2 for him to get into the gym, because I had to pay for him to get into the gym, to talk to him about training. I get into there. I pay for him. His name's Bram. Cool guy from the Netherlands. Super tall dude. Wants to get fit. Signs up. Whole month. Ends up paying enough to pay for my entire trip. Not much, but it was enough to buy myself food, lodging, and do a couple things here and there. Worked out 3-4 days a week. Got him. Ended up meeting some amazing friends in Colombia. Amazing people. So, don't say you can't afford something, because it's not true. It's just your mind. It's your mind telling you to give up. I'm not saying that's going to be the situation for everybody. If you're not a personal trainer, you should probably not fly out on that idea. But I'm saying it can be done. Okay? Something can always be done. And here's the thing. Most people in this family or on my YouTube have jobs. And even if you don't, you have a source of income. And if you don't have a job and you have like Social Security or something, why the hell are you not traveling? You have time. Figure it out. Get your Social Security checks straight into your account. Get rid of your apartment and go off for a couple months. When you come back, get an apartment again if that's what you want to do. Or don't come back. It's up to you. But don't tell me or yourself or anybody else that it's not possible for you if you're wanting to do it. If you really want to achieve it, you're going to. Okay? That's just the reality. Not the reality that you're pretending is true, that you can't do it. Don't tell me you can't fucking do something. Do you know how long I was the person that talked about everything and really never tried anything? Long time. A few years back, every once in a while when I drive by Country Club and 60, my old neighborhood, I remember I was at a hotel. We were on the 10th floor partying, getting drunk. And I think about this every single time I drive by that freeway. I drive right by the hotel. And there's a window, I can see the window of the hotel room that I was staying at. I guess it's been a while. 10, 15 years, who knows how long it's been. But I was on the 10th floor. I mean, just assuming it was the 10th floor. It was the very top, and it looks like a 10-story building. I don't know what floor number. But at least 7, 8 floors up, if not a little higher. And I decided to be funny. So there's these windows on the bottom of there's the top window, regular window, like a picture frame window. And then at the bottom, it slides open. I slid it open, slid out feet first, and thought it was a joke. 100 feet above the ground to hang on by 2 fingers. Drunk. And everybody was screaming, come back in, come back in, come back in. I thought it was hilarious. You guys, it really is kind of amazing, if you think about it, that I'm here. When I was a kid, I used to go on the freeway And I would flip my bike over upside down and start working on it in the middle of rush hour traffic when cars are flying by at 60, 70 miles an hour just to get attention. This is the stupidest shit I've ever done in my life. There are so many things that I really shouldn't have made it through. I can never even stop counting them. There's so many. And for so many years, I took all of my life for granted. And when I hit 30, I started realizing how fragile it is. I took, my ex-wife and her daughters for granted, and I took the fact that I had a family for granted. And the fact that we ate dinner together, I took that for granted too. I've never sat down with my kids since then and had dinner together because the memories are hard. I was an asshole. I was a fun hater. I was a guy that hated to do anything was fun for my family. I've changed a lot, but some things just don't change. I kind of shut the world out, for a long time. Probably still a little bit that way. I don't go out and I don't meet people because sometimes I'm just afraid to lose everything again, and if I have taught you anything, I want to teach you the most important thing. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to slip, trip, fall, and bust your lip, because it's gonna fucking happen. And if you don't get out there and try, you'll never know if you can actually achieve anything. I have a goal to travel to every country in the world. I got this tattoo in Colombia right here that says believe. I don't know if anybody really knows why I got that tattoo. I got that tattoo because I stopped believing in myself in Colombia. I stopped believing that I could do things, and now every time I do anything, whether it's lift weights, take a shower, look at myself in the mirror, I have a reminder to believe in me. Because that's the hardest thing you're ever going to do. It's easy to believe in other people. It's the easiest thing in the world to tell people that you're there for them and that you believe in their strengths. Because in all reality you do. Or you may not, but I do. And when I tell somebody that, to be able to flip that backwards and tell yourself that is one of the hardest things that you're ever going to be faced with. All bullshit aside, believing in yourself is one of the most difficult things that you can ever do. And I will say, if you don't struggle with this, you're probably a weird, arrogant bastard. Which there are people like that, and that's fine. But if you're just a normal, humble person, it can be very difficult believing in yourself. But I will say, when you work on it, on like a continued effort to try to be a fan of yourself, not in an arrogant way, not in a conceited way, but in a mediocrely confident way. Feel and know that you're probably a little bit better than you think. You're probably just a little bit stronger than you think. You're probably a little bit more amazing, probably a lot more amazing than you think. Think of it like this. Other people on a continued basis believe in people that are not themselves, right? And people, this is slapping me in the face right now because this is what I do too, and we all do it. People believe in other people, just like you believe in other people. So when other people say that they believe in you, shouldn't you too? It's kind of like, if I say you can do something, why couldn't I? And while saying this, it's going to be one thing, but when it comes up, it's going to be something entirely different. You guys, you got a long road ahead of you. I don't care if you're 60, 80, 20, or 15, whatever your age is, wherever you're at in your journey, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears, you know? But that's how growth happens. That's how change comes about. When you work hard and you don't give up, eventually there's going to be a little freaking crack in life that you can snake yourself through. And then on the other side, you can flourish. Have you ever been driving to a destination? Say you're on a road trip, and you've been on this road trip 100 times, but you're going to a slightly different destination. Say I'm driving from Arizona to California, and I've been to California, right? Hundreds of times. I know the road. It sucks. It's boring. It's just the middle of the desert every time, right? I understand. It's hard. But it's funny because I've been to San Diego, I've been to LA, I've been to all these things. But this time it's different. And you're probably asking, well, why is it different? Well, maybe you're not, but we'll assume you are. It's different because this time I'm going to San Francisco. I'm going to see the Bay Bridge. I'm going to see the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm going to see this, I'm going to see that. So a lot of the times, even though you're on the same journey, the same boring journey to lose weight, and you find yourself less inspired than the time before, because I promise you, you have to be, and remember that this truly is a completely different journey than what you were on before. And you got to keep that mindset, and you got to understand who you were when you lost 100 pounds last time is not the same individual that you are today. But also, the journey is different. The destination is completely different. And the destination is going to be completely unique, amazing, and beautiful. And I promise, when you are the person, when you become the person that is relentless, probably one of my future tattoos right across my chest, relentless. I want to see myself as somebody that never gives up. And that's what I want you to be as well. I want you to know that you can too be relentless, to experience sometimes a very similar journey, but a completely uniquely beautiful destination. It's important to understand that it's worth it. It's important to understand that you have to stay on track. It's important that you have to get back up every single time and don't let down. Don't let down, meaning don't let yourself down. Because the only person that you're going to be able to count on for the rest of your entire life is you. There's only two guarantees in life. The one guarantee is that you will have yourself. The other guarantee is death. Okay? Don't do things to please others before you do things to please yourself. And I'm not saying be selfish, but I am saying be selfish. Make sure you make time for you, because you really do matter most. It's important that you understand, if you really want to care for others, including myself, this goes straight to my heart, straight to me, then you have to take care of you. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be a sufficient caretaker in any way, shape, or form or aspect. Because if you're not truly happy, how can you really make others happy? The journey is completely different than what you were on before. And even if you feel like a lot of the times it's the same type of thing, the same grind, the same in and out, then if that's how you feel about it, you know what it takes to get shit done. You guys, I love you guys. We got 5 million views. I've been on my journey for about 6 years. Okay? 6 to 8 years. It's been a long road. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been hard. Some of you guys have been here up to like 2 years with me. Maybe as long as pushing on 3. That's a long time. But I can guarantee you it's just a a spit in the can compared to what it's really going to be coming in the near future. Stay on track, set yourself some goals. Set yourself some obtainable goals, and also set yourself some obtainable rewards. If you lose 50 pounds, reward yourself. Go on a vacation. Do something happy, something fun, something that you never thought was possible for you. Push. Why? Because I guarantee you, if you're trying to lose weight, but you're also the same person that says you can't travel, you're not going to lose weight. You know why? Because you're not being a person that believes in themselves, that they can achieve things that they don't think are possible. So you're going to continue to say, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't travel because of this, I can't travel because of that, I can't lose weight, I can't do this. Because I promise you, the same freaking people that say that shit have some kind of fire light up under their ass, and they will make the world spin. You are that person. Don't wait until something major happens. Don't wait until you're sick. Don't wait until your life falls apart, until your wife leaves you or your husband leaves you, or you have some type of huge scenario happen in your life where it's just life-changing and you buckle under the pressure and everything changes, because you don't want to wait for that. Don't wait for that, because a lot of the times it's too freaking late. Okay? And I'm not the person to say things are too late, but let's be realistic. If you sit there till you have a heart attack and you have some health issues, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to reach your goals than it will be if you do it while you're healthy. I'm not saying it's not going to come anyway, because it might. How long you been eating? How long you been eating bad? How long you been on this journey? How long were you not on this journey? You guys, be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water. Do your damn cardio. Do what it takes to treat your body right. The only thing you don't get another one of is that, your body. And guess what? I am officially done with my 1 hour of cardio. Have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Put in the description below what you want to achieve this year. Because remember, we all have to be always believing in ourselves. Thanks, guys.